I want to switch gears now to nuclear threats because there's been a lot of focus since the New START treaty expired between the US and Russia this week. One of the big revelations of that was the US accusing China of conducting secret nuclear tests in 2020. First, what's your reaction to the tests?
I'm not surprised. I think the Americans knew about it a lot sooner, but I don't think they wanted to reveal it for whatever reason until now. But it just doesn't surprise me. There isn't a sort of a treaty or an agreement the Chinese have ever signed that they haven't violated. But also, it demonstrates as well China's objective, which is to have a nuclear arsenal that is so powerful that nobody will challenge them. And that's their objective, and that's where they aim to get.
On that note, there is also reports that China wants to expand its arsenal to 1,000 warheads by 2030. Secretary of State Marco Rubio actually saying this marks a new era for nuclear arms control, one that must confront both Russia and China. How likely are we to see a broader arms control treaty that would bring in China as well as Russia?
I don't think we're very likely to see that. I think the Chinese would not have much interest in signing it. The Russians as well, I don't think they're particularly keen to do that as well. But the American administration has to sort of thread a needle here because it's trying to point out just how threatening the Chinese and the Russian nuclear arsenals are and what those two countries are doing. And at the same time, it has to act like it wants a treaty. And here's the problem, is that if they do push really strongly for a treaty, you're kind of undercutting the argument that you need to make on Capitol Hill for the spending to build up our own nuclear arsenals, which need to be improved and quickly. Because the argument will be, well, if you're going to have a treaty where everyone reduces their nuclear weapons, why are we going to build more of them? So the administration is talking about this, but I think they have no illusions as to the willingness of the Chinese or the Russians to join in. And with the Chinese, Henry Kissinger said, he figured it out 50 years too late, but he said, we see fixable problems. And solving one of them actually is, for us, that's a solution. To the Chinese, that's just an admission ticket to other problems that they're going to raise and to solve. So it really would solve nothing if you got the Chinese to agree to something like a nuclear arms treaty here. They're just not interested in it, and their objective is very different than what we would expect.